This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 17th day of April in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Opposition leader Bara Jagdeo today defended his party's hiring of a U.S. lobbying firm to represent the interests of the party in the United States. The lobbying firm Mercury Public Affairs is being paid just over $34 million for its work for the PPP. At his weekly press conference today, Mr. Jagdeo told reporters that the money to pay the firm came from donors and supporters of the party, and the money was transferred from Guyana.
Oh, you want to know the source of our funds? You sound like the government. Well, yeah, it's the PPP collects, raises funds through donations, and like any other party, and that's where we fund these from.
Jagdeo said the party's executive approved the hiring of the company, and he's happy with the credentials of the company.
We're very happy with the firm. We're happy with its credentials. We're happy that the firm is a bipartisan firm, both Democrats and Republicans. And we're very pleased. We badly needed a presence in Washington, because a lot of the opinions formed in the U.S. or in Washington from many organizations, including the multilateral financial institutions, the OAS, and of course the U.S. government, could be tainted by the lies that APNU have been telling in these areas, or the misrepresentation of issues.
The opposition leader said he wants organizations based in the U.S. and the U.S. government to have a balanced view of what is happening in Guyana, and that is the reason behind hiring the firm. The lobbying firm hired by the PPP is currently one of the companies on the probe by the U.S. Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller, who has been examining Russian interference in the last U.S. elections. The company has also found itself facing several violations for ethics and has been charged and fined in the past. Mr. Jagdeo said none of that worries him, since the company is an effective firm, and he has reviewed its work and is pleased with its capacity.
So the thing is that this matter, hiring a firm, was discussed at the level of the executive of the party. And secondly, I'm very happy with Mercury Public Affairs. I've reviewed their work. They're a very effective firm, and that's what we need, an effective firm to counter the lies being told by APNU in Washington.
Do you think you later money's worth the $34 million?
We're getting every cent of it worth. Every cent worth is worth it.
Could you say, sir, whether the group has already written to the OAS on your behalf, or has formulated documents that is putting OAS on your behalf about the political situation in Guyana?
I will brief you further when the elections come on these matters. The thing is that I'm not going to share all the details of our engagement and so the day-to-day working of the company, but they're working on our behalf.
The opposition leader refused to divulge information about some of the work that the company will handle for his party. More news coming up in just a moment. One night, great vibes, nice time. It's the Big People Party again for Linden Town Week. On Thursday, April 25, you'll find out Big Man Galok. No. It's the official Big People Party with Super Ray one-man band, Buster one-man band, and DJ Akilo with all the throwback hits all night. Join Go Mosley at the Mackenzie Bandstand in Linden. One night, great vibes, nice time. It's the Big People Party, Big Man Galok, Thursday, April 25, compliments of Banks Bear. This is Banks Country.
The future is green. Let's help you experience the future with easy financing for your business or home. Be it for solar energy, water treatment recycling, water filters, energy-saving appliances, or wind power projects. Enjoy competitive interest rates, fast approvals, and discounted lending services fees, low equity contribution, and flexible repayment. Visit us for details or go to www.gbtibank.com or email us at banking@gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Linden Town Week isn't just the biggest events, the best fets, the most action, cultural shows, exhibition, food, music, sports, and anything you can dream of. Linden Town Week 2019 begins from Saturday the 20th of April to Wednesday the 1st of May. For more information, contact the Linden Town Week Secretariat on 444-2200 or follow the Linden Maritime Council's Facebook page.
Hey, babe. Hello? Is Don me quite just done?
Buddy, you need to switch to GTT Fab 5.
Fab 5?
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only 5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Oh, yeah, like the switch. Wicked Fab 5.
Welcome back. General Secretary of the PPP and Opposition Leader Barra Jagdeo was this morning visited by 2 investigators of the Guyana Police Force who sought a response from him in relation to statements that were made by him at a rally at Babu John in Berbice back in March. Mr. Jagdeo was told that complaints were found against some of the contents of his speech, especially in regard to his call on supporters to chase out government officials from their communities. The opposition leader was flanked by his 2 attorneys, Anil Nandlal and Sanjeev Dattadin, and opted to provide a written statement to the police. Mr. Nandlal later told the media that there was no inference by the officers that they were investigating a criminal matter, but he believes the questioning will open the doors to the speeches by political leaders on all sides of the campaign trail to be examined much closer. 2 days ago, the People's Progressive Party had complained that instructions were given by the government and the People's National Congress to arrest Jagdeo on his return to Guyana from an overseas trip. He arrived in the country without any issue, and the government, the police, and the PNC all denied that any such instructions were given to arrest him. Well, during yesterday's government outreach in the Berbice area, Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan faced questions about the level of violence and crime in the country during a community meeting. Mr. Ramjatan told the residents who met with him that in most instances, the number of murders is as a result of interpersonal violence and alcohol abuse. He said it is an issue that must be addressed as Guyana prepares for growth in the oil sector.
What makes it happen is our interpersonal rates of violence. You know, we got drink we little rum here. Soon as we get little high, everyone juk mati. Everyone go house, go chop out every wife hand and slash your neck. That is what is happening. Domestic kind of violence. And we got to understand that that is not going to make us ready for all this isle wealth and so on. We got to read good books. We got to read the classics. We got to read the Mahabharata and the Quran and the Bible. But we don't know why we read or why we watch. The more we drink and then we want to drink more too. Me gonna put on 2 o'clock curfew. Everybody vexed with me. Ramjatan like entertainment. And what the thing them call you, that dog, that, or if you hear thing what them call me. But you have to hold your own and say, 2 o'clock is the deadline and I done with all you. And if the police want to give all you a little 15 minutes to close off the battle, well, it's all right, but no more than that.
And speaking in Creolese, the Public Security Minister also spoke about the family and how issues in the family could affect children, eventually leading them down a wrong path.
And moreover, we got dysfunctional families is the other reason for this high violence rate. Yes, when you would expect the mother and the father to ensure that they work a little hard for send her by a school, them not care about a boy or a girl. Them tell her by go along your way, then cuss the boy, do this and that and that. And the child grow up. He now dysfunctional too because he not had good parenting. what happened to my house? And then he gone, first thing you got to take your dope, and next thing you got to stab somebody or you got to rob somebody.
The Berbice residents called for more support in the fight against crime and help in dealing with the issue of violence in the home. In the court now, proceedings in the Fort Wellington Magistrates Court came to a halt today when the woman accused of murdering her own mother collapsed in the courthouse. 42-year-old Camila Jamir appeared dazed as she stood before the magistrate and was charged with the murder of her 69-year-old mother, Rukmin Jamir. Just after the charge was read, the accused fainted, forcing the magistrate to adjourn the hearing. She was taken out of the courtroom as a date was being set for her next appearance. She has been remanded. The prosecution's case is that last Friday, at the family's West Coast Berbice home, Camila Jamir slashed her mother's throat and left her to die on the floor of the house. The woman later alerted the police and told them that she discovered the body after returning home from church. However, she became a suspect after it was revealed by relatives to the investigators that days before the murder, the woman had allegedly threatened her mother after being accused of stealing the mother's money. The two were also involved in a fight. Investigators believe it is that fallout that led to the murder. Turning our attention now to the aviation sector, good news to report tonight. From December of this year, passengers traveling between Georgetown and New York on American Airlines will no longer have to go through Miami, as the airline plans to roll out a direct service between Georgetown and New York. In a letter to the head of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, American Airlines International Government Affairs Senior Analyst John Williams indicated that the airline will soon be formally submitting its application to the authority for the startup of the direct service between Georgetown and New York. He said with approval, the airline will be looking to start the New York service by the 18th of December or sooner, using its 737-800 Boeing aircraft. The flights will be operated daily, and tickets for the New York service will be on sale from May. The airline has also announced that because of the success of its Georgetown to Miami operations, it will be increasing the frequency of that service to daily flights, as against the 4 flights per week service that is currently on the schedule. Additionally, American Airlines will be adding a much larger aircraft to the Miami route. American Airlines currently uses an Airbus 319 aircraft on that route, which has seating for 128 passengers. It intends to start using the Boeing 737-800 aircraft, which has seating for 172 passengers. American Airlines launched its service last year in the Guyana market. According to the airline official, the carrier remains committed to the Guyana market and will continue to improve and expand its service. The expansion moves by American Airlines in the Guyana market comes 1 week after the chief executive officer of JetBlue announced to the company's employees that the company has approved a plan to begin its Guyana service. JetBlue's service to Guyana is set to start in 2020. The airline is expected to file official documents with the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority in the coming months. Well, the ExxonMobil company here in Guyana partnered with the Volunteer Youth Corps and staged the 6th annual STEM camp, which wrapped up today at a Wesleyan campsite on the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. It was held under the theme Achieving Excellence in Studies, Promoting Innovation and Creativity through STEM. It targeted secondary school students from grades 9 to 11. Addressing participants, the Senior Director for Public and Government Affairs at Exxon, Deidre Moe, said STEM is at the core of ExxonMobil's operations generally, as it seeks to develop new technology and ensure operations are safe and environmentally responsible.
And we're really excited to be a part of this. I had an opportunity to attend the kickoff of this year's 2018-2019 program last year, and just the enthusiasm that you all have for learning is just so incredible, and I'm just so encouraged by what you as leaders and our future leaders of tomorrow are going to bring to the table when it comes to future development in science, technology, and engineering and math.
ExxonMobil Guyana has supported the Volunteer Youth Corps in the execution of its STEM education initiatives since 2012. Today, the company announced a contribution of $20 million Guyana dollars to the Volunteer Youth Corps for the 2019-2020 program. Across the region is coming up next.
Guyana, this Easter Monday, April 22nd, everybody's going up to Giftland Parking Lot for the Corona Beers, the Unity Fest, starring the Trini Hitmaker and Chutney King, Ravi B.
Organize the whole country, we coming down. Remember, Ravi B, Beanie Man, live.
Shakti Strings and Team MMR. Tickets $2,500, VIP $10,000. Flawless compliments of Corona Beer, Eldorado Rum, Giftland Mall, E-Networks, Mad 97.5 FM, Church's Chicken, and Urban Life Boutique.
Guyoil is a proud Guyanese-owned and Guyanese-operated company, serving our nation for over 42 years. All the profits remain in Guyana and are used for the development of our country. So when you buy fuel and lubricants from Guyoil, you are directly contributing to Guyana's economic development. Let's continue to build this nation together. Fuel up and drive with Super 95 from Guyoil.
Fuel it up and drive!
Guyana, for the first time ever, two heavyweights in the music industry on one night, on one stage. Extra Beer presents Yardy Fete Dancehall and Soca Concert. Performing live, the youngest and hottest dancehall artist, Alkaline the Conqueror.
Feel like my gang conquer the world now.
And the hottest soca artist, Farmer
You got me hooking me if you want me to.
Get your tickets now for an affordable $3,000, stage front $15,000. Ticket location: White Castle Fish Shop, Gesture Size Boutique, Guinness Bar, Pleasant, Itel Food Shop, Durban Street, Fireside Grill and Chill, Buxton Gas Station, Dave Barker, Digicel, Starbrook Bar, Colors Boutique, Westsiders Entertainment Center, Patsy's BPAT Food Court, Sousdike Junction, Extra Beer location, Starbrook Market, Sweet Point Orange Walk, and HJ Radio Station. Yardy Fete, live, Alkaline and Farmer Nappy, Soca and Dance Hall Concert on Easter Saturday, 20th April 2019 at Guyana National Stadium. Come, Corona, Extra Beer, and Extra Energy Drink.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Across the region right now, Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has again criticized the position of the United States regarding China's assistance program to the region, saying that Beijing is providing loans at even better rates than the World Bank. This is the second time within a 7-month period that Brown has publicly criticized U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who has likened China to a predatory leader. But speaking at the handover ceremony for the Grace Green Community Center, which was funded by China, Mr. Brown said he had gone as far as rebutting Pompeo to tell him that Washington's position regarding China was not so, and called upon him and the United States to put a framework in place so that developing countries could benefit similar to what the People's Republic of China is doing. Let's tell you now that Canada is imposing more sanctions on the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who it blames for the country's deteriorating political and economic situation. Canada's Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland on Monday announced sanctions against 43 high-ranking Venezuelan officials, including regional governors, and said that they were implicated in the undermining of democratic institutions. Canada had already sanctioned 70 other people linked to Maduro's government. The sanctions include asset freezes and ban Canadians from any financial dealings with targeted individuals from Venezuela. And finally tonight, international news. Former Peruvian President Alan Garcia has died after shooting himself as police arrived at his home to arrest him over bribery allegations. Mr. Garcia was rushed to a hospital in the capital of Lima. His death was confirmed by the current president, Martin Vizcarra. A crowd of supporters gathered outside the hospital and were held back by a line of police. Mr. Garcia was accused of taking bribes from a Brazilian construction company, claims that he denied it. He served as president of Peru from 1985 to 1990 and again from 2006 to 2011. Officers had been sent to arrest him in connection with the allegations when he shot himself. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.